New maps in Arc Raiders. Yes, maps, plural, and they're coming this year. But there's a catch that might actually melt your PC or your console and push the servers to the breaking point. Virgil Watkins, the design lead over at Embark, just dropped a massive interview with GamesRadar, laying out where the game is right now and what's coming in the 2026 roadmap. And he didn't just tease a couple of tweaks or a new contract, he dropped real information, the kind that can either save a live service game or bury it. So put the controller down for 5 minutes. We need to break this down. Start with the number. 12 million players. That's the milestone they just crossed. And normally, when a studio hits that kind of success, you know exactly what happens next. They get comfortable, they slide into maintenance mode, a couple of skins, a crossover event, maybe a mid-season update with nothing in it, and they call it a day. You've seen this movie before. Live service hits a big milestone, and then it just coasts into irrelevance. But according to Watkins, Embark is doing the exact opposite. He straight up confirmed we are getting multiple maps before the end of 2026. Not one, not a reworked layout pretending to be new, maps, plural. And that sounds great on paper, but this is where things start to get dangerous. Because it's not just the quantity, it's the scale. Watkins used one word that has been stuck in my head since I read the interview: grander. He said the new maps are going to be even grander than what we have now. And that sounds like classic marketing until you actually contextualize what now looks like. Spaceport is our current benchmark, roughly 1.6 by 1.4 kilometers. It's already huge, it's already dense, it's already pushing a lot of systems at the same time. Now imagine going beyond that horizontally and vertically. Imagine taller structures, deeper valleys, more layers stacked on top of each other. We're talking about a map scale flirting with full open world territory, but with the tension and pacing of an extraction shooter where every sound can get you eliminated. That's not just bigger map energy, that's a complete shift in how the game breathes. And if you actually care about that kind of under-the-hood change instead of just watching another hype trailer, do yourself a favor and subscribe right now. Around here, we don't parrot PR, we pull the roadmap apart and see what breaks. Now, let's address the thing everyone is quietly panicking about: performance. I know what you're thinking because I'm thinking it too. My PS5 base is going to explode. My PC is going to melt. And this is the part of the interview that actually made me respect Embark a little more. Watkins didn't hide behind the usual buzzwords. No, don't worry, perfect optimization. No, we've solved it with magic server tech. He openly admitted there is a point where, and I'm quoting here, the server explodes if they push AI density too far. He even called out a specific location, the damn battlegrounds. According to him, that area is already sitting at the edge of what the engine can handle. And honestly, good. I'd rather have a studio that pushes the hardware until it screams than one that plays it safe forever just so it can run on a decade-old office laptop. What Embark is basically saying between the lines is, we're willing to push consoles and PCs to the edge if that's what it takes to hit a scale you haven't seen before in this genre. If that means dynamic resolution tanking on Xbox or DLSS working overtime on PC, so be it. That's the trade-off when you aim for something bigger than same map, different lighting. But scale alone doesn't fix a stale meta. That's where it gets interesting. Watkins talked about how these new maps are going to force you to actually rethink your loadouts. Right now, let's be honest, you probably run the same meta Anvil Renegade build every raid. Maybe you swap a grip, maybe you pretend the choice matters. It doesn't. You drop in, you run the same routes, and half the time you're basically on autopilot. He brought up Ziplines as a perfect example. On a relatively flat map, a zipline is a death sentence. You're just free aim practice hanging in the sky. But on a truly vertical, grand map, multiple layers of height, overlapping sightlines, cliffs, towers, that same zipline becomes your escape route, your lifeline. Suddenly, you're thinking about angles, not just recoil stats. Then there's the Shredder. Right now, that thing lives in the tight tunnels of Stella Montis. You know the drill. Close quarters, bring a shotgun, clear the space. Predictable. But on these future maps, he's hinting that enemies like the Shredder might show up in wildly different contexts. Longer sightlines, open ground, elevation changes. That means long-range optics instead of only shotguns. And then he casually throws in environmental variables, weather that affects physics. Imagine wind impacting projectiles, visibility getting shredded in a storm, arcs handling differently based on conditions. That is the kind of change that forces real pre-raid planning. No more queue up, bring whatever, we'll figure it out. You actually have to think before you hit deploy. That right there is the dream for anyone who wants this genre to evolve instead of just recycle the same meta every season. But there's a darker version of this story that nobody in marketing is going to tell you. What if they overshoot? What if these maps are too big, too dense, and the tech just can't keep up? And if that happens, matchmaking gets messy, player pools fragment, one platform gets frustrated and leaks players faster than any balance patch can fix. You think cheaters ruin matches? Try playing a game where half the lobby is fighting the map and the engine more than the actual enemies. So 2026 is not a maintenance year, it's a fork in the road. Either Arc Raiders takes the crown as the extraction shooter that actually dared to evolve, or it turns into another case study in ambition versus reality. Multiple new maps, a scale that flirts with breaking servers, a meta that finally has to move. I'm hyped, but I'm also very aware this could go horribly wrong. If you want the honest version of how this plays out, not the marketing fairy tale, hit subscribe and keep this channel on your radar. And if you think massive maps are bad, wait until you see what cheaters are already doing to Arc Raiders. Go watch my breakdown on the cheater problem next. It'll change how you queue, who you trust, and how you play every single raid. I'll see you in the raid, if the servers survive long enough for us to load in.